Hi guys, and welcome to AA35, a channel about living life fully, especially if you're over 35 or starting life over. And today we're looking at a very interesting topic that will have a huge impact on your life: your significant other. Now, call it what you will: spouse, partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, soulmate. Having someone special to share life's journey with can add so much to your lives, but it has to be the right relationship with the right person. Now, we've looked at the right relationship part of things when we talked about the essential ingredients of a healthy relationship. But how do you know that your relationship will have those ingredients? Well, it turns out there are indicators for that, and that's the personal qualities of the people themselves. And that's the right person part of the equation. So let's talk about that. Over the last 20 years, I've tried to learn as much as I could about relationships. I've read plenty of literature, attended workshops, had coaching sessions, and I've been privileged to talk to countless happy couples that I've met in the course of my work or business. And of course, I've experienced for myself successes and failures, some of them pretty spectacular failures. And altogether, I found that there are two major factors that determine if you'll have a happy relationship or not. The first factor relates to the relationship qualities themselves that decide whether a relationship will be loving and enduring. And these are qualities that you should be aware of and try to build when you are in the relationship. And we've talked about that before in the previous videos on relationships. So go check out my ingredients of a healthy relationship videos. But the second factor relates to the personal qualities of the people themselves. So for example, positive qualities like loyalty, kindness, and high self-esteem tend to create good, fulfilling, uplifting relationships. On the other hand, negative qualities like materialism, immaturity, low self-esteem, and bad temper tend to create very draining, negative relationships, toxic relationships. And that's what we'll look at today. Now, I want to point out that my list will be a bit different from other lists you might have seen, simply because I make this distinction between relationship qualities and personal qualities. For example, you'll often see respect or being respectful as a trait on the list of desirable qualities. But respectful of what? That depends a lot on the relationship itself and on you. So for example, if you're not respectable, she won't respect you and she shouldn't respect you. And supportive is often another trait I see listed on these lists. But again, supportive of what? For example, if you're a dodgy character full of criminal schemes and machinations, she shouldn't support you. So these are qualities that really flow from the relationship itself, and you really find out about only when you are in the relationship. So what we're talking about today are qualities you can recognize in someone as they are alone before you get into a relationship. And those are personal qualities that often, and I would say increase the chances of you getting the relationship qualities we want. So that's what we're talking about. Let's get to the first quality. Quality 1. Committed to self-improvement and living fully. Now, people who are committed to growth and self-development continually strive to improve themselves in all areas, including relationships. They recognize there's always room for improvement. And if that means reading a book or taking a course or even seeing a counselor or a coach, they will. So they're less likely to take a relationship for granted and let themselves go in this area. When two people who are committed to growth and self-development come together in that special way, both will be incredibly enriched by the experience. Because they'll always be learning and improving on something together, And when people are committed to making sure they're at their best at all times, you know that's going to carry over to their relationships as well. And by continually striving to become better people, they'll always be attractive and fresh to each other. Now, someone who's committed to growth is also very likely working on their life purpose. And I found that people like that tend to be more authentic. They've got fewer masks to be stripped away. And because they're more authentic, you'll be able to recognize at the outset if you're likely to be compatible or not. And that really saves a lot of time. So ask yourself, is your potential partner living his life with purpose? Does he know his strengths and weaknesses? What's he currently working on? And what's he striving to eliminate in his life? He's such a man-child. She's just a spoiled teenager. You know, immaturity can be cute and even endearing at first. But when you have to bear with it in a long-term relationship, it gets real old real fast. Now, immature people expect to be taken care of. They want things done for them. They want only their feelings considered. And they don't see the need to change, improve themselves, to sacrifice, to become better people for the relationship. In times of difficulty, well, they'll be practicing avoidance instead of taking up their end of the burden or supporting you in your times of crisis. They might act cute or throw a tantrum until somebody, that's you, takes care of it. That's not the kind of relationship that we want. A tantrum is the last thing you need when you're trying to solve an important life issues. And you also don't want to be jumping through hoops when you could be maximizing what life has to offer. You're looking for emotional stability. Can they adjust and adapt to different situations? Are their reactions appropriate? Do they know their own strengths and weaknesses? A relationship should be about two strong, emotionally stable people coming together to lift each other up, right? And you'll hear this theme repeated quite often in all my relationship videos, that the best relationships come from two already happy people coming together to become even happier or to be lifted higher than they were before. And it's not about one person supplying the deficiencies in basic needs so that the other person can lead an idle life. And I think if you look around you at the relationships you see around you, you see that happening quite a lot. Well, I don't want that for me, and I don't want that for you. It's a partnership. It's not a sponsorship. It's about two people supporting each other, taking care of each other, loving each other, and giving to each other in the relationship. And that takes two mature, responsible adults. So ask yourself, is your potential partner more a giver or a taker? What have they contributed to your life? When things go wrong, do they take responsibility? Or are they always blaming what goes wrong on somebody else? In any quarrel or argument, do you always apologize first, even when you know you were not in the wrong? And finally, are they financially responsible? So these are good questions to ask. Quality 3, high self-esteem. Now, self-esteem can be loosely translated as having a sense of self-worth, having the confidence that you're an attractive person, that you deserve happiness, success, and a fulfilling relationship. Now, someone with high self-esteem is proud of his achievements and who he is. And when he looks for a relationship, he's looking for somebody with equally high self-esteem so that together they can create something greater. He accepts love and trusts more easily because he's more selective. So once he's decided on someone to start a relationship with, he's confident in their ability to make it work. Now, someone with low self-esteem, on the other hand, is looking for a relationship because he believes he needs one to make him happy. Now, because he thinks poorly of himself, he's more suspicious and constantly testing his partner. Afraid that she'll find someone better, he behaves in possessive, jealous, and other negative, off-putting ways. And eventually, he creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, signs of jealousy and possessiveness are definite red flags, and you should run far away from somebody like this. Now, a person with high self-esteem won't do mind games and attention-seeking behavior, so you're not likely to get shit-testing questions like, "Do I look fat?" I'm sure that's a favorite for many of you. And because they're not seeking validation, that removes one of the risk factors for cheating. They're intelligent, so flattery, nagging, and other cheap PUA tricks won't work. They're well aware of their strengths and also their weaknesses, which they're constantly working to improve on. So ask yourself, what qualities is your potential partner most proud of? What are the 3 things that they are confident they bring to a relationship? Have they ever been taken for granted, abused, or mistreated by an ex? And what did it take for them to walk away? Those are all indicators of self-esteem and self-respect. Quality 4, fit and health conscious. If you're living a healthy lifestyle and you're looking for a long-term partner, it's essential to be compatible here, because this is about lifestyle and values. You don't want to have to completely change your lifestyle, either to step down to a lower level or to kill yourself striving and being stressed to reach a higher level. And fitness and health conscious and being health conscious also tends to reflect certain values which you might find you need to have in a partner. For example, things like health, vitality, self-respect, discipline. Now, couples who don't match here quarrel often about what to eat, time spent on exercise, jealousy over fitter and more attractive friends, and financial burdens that come from preventable health problems. Now, these are time wasters that drain energy and emotion from the most important part of life, living it. Now, couples who are fit and healthy have more options of what they can do together. They can go on new adventures such as checking out that new kickboxing class or trying a vertical marathon. They can go to new places to rough it out. And couples who exercise together tend to become closer together. And they'll also have many more years of healthy life together. Now, do you want children? I think a lot of people do. Well, if you want children, this is even more essential. Now, to put it bluntly, our children these days are getting more and more fat and even obese. And I know this because I used to work in a weight management clinic. And of course, I also have my experiences from my own business, right? My own coaching and personal training business. And this is really worrying. Now, parents are living examples and even templates for how the kids are going to live in the future. So if they live a healthy lifestyle, it's very easy for kids to develop that from an early age. Now compare that to if they don't, and years down the road when their children are all grown up and busy working, they then have to make drastic lifestyle changes because they get diagnosed with diabetes or heart problems or high blood pressure or some other weight-related issue. So I think that if you want to have children, then being fit and healthy is part of that responsibility. And the final thing to talk about is physical attraction. Now, let's not tiptoe around the issue. If in a long-term relationship, physical attractiveness is very important. And there's a common belief that as you get older, you'll naturally become less attractive. Well, I'll tell you that if you eat right and if you exercise, yes, you will still get older, but you'll age gracefully and you'll still look attractive to each other. Now, I work with couples in their 50s and 60s, and I believe I work with a couple in their 70s as well, and they look great for each other. A lot of physical attractiveness is not just physical aspects per se, it's also the attitude that goes with that. So there are a lot of people who start to lose interest in their partners not because they got older or they've got a wrinkle here and there or they've put an inch on their waistline. It's usually because of the attitude that led to that. very commonly, hey, I'm in a relationship, I'm going to let myself go, right? Highly unattractive. So, being fit and healthy is a huge part of physical attraction, and that's very, very crucial to have. So ask yourself, does your potential partner exercise regularly? Do they show signs of unhealthy living like eating junk food and smoking? Do they make negative remarks about the time you spend on exercise and yet refuse your offer to join them? And do you argue frequently about food, what to cook and where to eat? So those are 4 personal qualities you can see in someone before you even enter a relationship with them. And in part 2, we'll look at the remaining 6. So that in all, you'll have 10 personal qualities to look out for in someone that will help increase the chances of you having a happy, enduring and fulfilling relationship. So please subscribe, hit that notifications button, and you'll know when that video comes out. In the meantime, do please check out my other 2 videos on the essential ingredients of a healthy relationship, because that's looking at the right relationship part of the equation. I'll see you soon.